Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Non-Fungible News. As always, I am Tricky Boom. Today, we have, for the second time, repeat offenders, Mr. Jeff Perry and Rob DiTeodoro. Did I butcher it? Did I say it?
Thank you.
And we know that they are the team behind VeGnomes and also the Reapers, VeReapers, which are what we're going to be talking about today. We'll touch on the VeGnomes and we'll kind of dive deep into VeReapers, what the team's all about on this project, and what we can look forward to with the project down the line. So fellas, how are you doing today?
Feeling good. How about you? It's a little late for me, but other than that, it's good, man.
I'm good. I'm just loving it, loving interviewing people. You guys are great people to talk to. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Rob, I wanted to give you the chance to butt in there first, but I'm doing great. We're super busy finishing up VeReapers, all kinds of info, and it's getting to where I'm, pulling all-nighters up super late, focused on all different details of the project, but I'm just enjoying it so much. Like I'm already aware in the moment that I'm gonna look back. Me and Rob were talking about this the other day. I'm gonna look back on these times right here and be like, dang, dude, getting the metadata squared away and like doing the generations and changing the names on the art files for the Reapers. Like I'm gonna look back and be like, those were the good old days. Like that was part of the journey. It was so fun. So I'm loving every minute.
It's even funny, like, I'm still working on the art today. We're pushing, like, Jeff and I swore we were going to finalize the art like 2 weeks ago, but it's like, you get so excited doing it, but it's like, each time after we finished, right up to the end, I'm like, man, I'm like almost burnt out doing this, like working on this so much. And then like within like a couple days when it's over, I'm like, man, I kind of miss jamming on that.
Well, yeah. And then when it's done and it's in the collection, it's done and there's no more, no more touch of Rob on there. It is, it's finalized. So
yeah, and it's like it's the journey of it is the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, and that's big. That's another point I mentioned to Rob here and there. I'm like, can you change this tiny little line on this dumbbell? Like, because once it's on the blockchain, it's on there forever. You know what I mean? It's not getting changed.
Yep, and we know that there's a lot of critics out there, and it seems like the list of them is growing. I think that can be beneficial. I'm not an artist, so I can't speak for the artists, but the critics, if you're hearing what criticisms people are saying, I think that could really help you push in the right direction to know just how to touch up yours. Plus, on the other side of that, I mean, it is your art. So, I mean, there's kind of got to be a happy medium there. But I've been very impressed with the Reapers so far. I already got the one picked out that I want. We'll see if it lands in my wallet on mint day or if I have to pick it up.
We put the bottle rocket in there, bro. That's just for you.
I know. I want the bottle rocket, and I want the it's like a melting.
I knew it. The drippy cloak. Yeah.
The drippy cloak.
That's one of most people's favorites. Neb Tyler said that was his favorite as well. Yeah. That's one of my favorites. It's incredible. And the one thing I'll say about the criticism is I agree with you. And it actually, I think it's a good sign the more you hear, like it means the space is growing and there's like more pressure. But I've heard great things about the Reaper art. People in the community really love it. They're like, that's some highly detailed work. So I think a lot of people are actually excited for it too, which is good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've leveled up with each project so much. I mean, but the funny thing is like that. I mean, now this is the third project that Jeff and I have worked closely on, and it's like, at this point, it's like funny. Like he sent, when I made this one, he mentioned the barbell. I made the one, and like, it was bugging me that there was like one line that was off, but I was just working on a lot of stuff, and so I just left it, and it bugged me. And Jeff left me a message today, and he's like, he zoomed in, he's like, can you just fix this line? And I'm like, I know I should have fixed the line, dude. Thanks for calling me out. So I fixed the line.
Hey, it's all good. That's what a good team is all about.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's like you can be honest about it. It's just like, look, this is what it is.
So it's important.
let's briefly touch on the VeGnomes. Anybody that hasn't seen it, we did a video not too long ago, kind of going over VeGnomes and everything. Let's just do a brief catch up, if you will, on the VeGnomes. Tell the people about the gnome.
Yeah, well, so far, I think probably the first thing to touch on a month ago was we went to NFT NYC. So the VeGnomes actually voted. We had some royalties in there. We had sales from VeGnomes Legends, which is actually the follow-up collection on World of V. And we used those funds. We voted to use those funds to go to NFT NYC. So I went to NFT NYC. I spent some of my own personal funds to go there, of course. And I've reinvested quite a bit back into gnomes lately, as you've seen with sweeping. You've been sweeping up quite a few as well. You've thrown in a lot of offers on the floor. You actually you're loaded into a good average. I'm actually impressed because you threw out a lot of like 400 bet offers, and you were calling it on Twitter. You're like, get ready, there's airdrops coming. Gnome floor is probably about to pump. And a few days later, there's a bunch of different people sweeping up gnomes, and I had to jump in towards the end. I'm buying them back for like 900 bet, right? Let's get the floor to 1K. So that was cool to see the community come together. But yeah, we went to NFT NYC. That was a great experience for me. I learned a lot, had flyers go out. So I think we got some more people on the Discord connected to VC Marketplace and World of V. The one thing I'll say about NFT NYC, it was hard being a side chain there. Most people really didn't know about VeChain, which actually part of me, that was actually exciting. I think there's a good thing, a good sign. All 13,000 of those people at the conference and all those millionaires were like, oh yeah, we heard of VeChain. Yeah, I knew they had NFTs, you know, it's whatever. That's actually more bearish than if no one knows about it yet, right? So when they hear about what the chain's working on, a lot of benefits that are to come or that are already prevalent in terms of the gas fee delegation and stuff, I think we still have a lot of people to flow into vet NFTs. So we're going to keep working. I definitely want to go to more conferences like that in the future and make as many connections as possible. Next up, I would say, yeah, gnomes floor has been getting swept up because the Reaper airdrops are coming. The more gnomes you hold, the more VeReapers you'll get airdropped. And I think that's about it to touch on. I mean, I don't know. Do you have any other questions, follow up about gnomes?
So just the only thing is, I know that we got the airdrops. That's the utility of the gnomes. I know there's going to be staking for Reapers. Is there going to be any kind of a staking pool for gnomes? Because they launched on VC. And so I know that VC is going to honor projects that launched on there and going to have their staking and everything. Will there be a staking pool there for VeGnomes?
Yeah. So this is something we actually threw on the roadmap leading up to Reapers. We wanted to try to fit in a small staking pool for gnomes out of the Reaper mint allocation, if it was like World of V token. And just through all the many hours I spent setting up the allocation, it didn't really work out. But we are confirmed going to be able to stake gnomes on VC. So staking will be coming to gnomes, guaranteed. We won't have a small World of V pool in the meantime, but we will have VC staking. We're going to be one of the first projects. I think we're in the group. VC tweeted out the other day. They were saying, hey, NFT paper project and VeChain staking's coming soon. And then they kind of tagged like 4 or 5 of like the bigger VC projects below, saying VC staking will be coming to these projects. And it was like VFox Alliance, it was VeGnomes, and a few others, I forget. But I think we'll be kind of part of that first group for gnome staking on VC, yeah.
Awesome. I know that's a big one that a lot of people like. I mean, because most of these projects, I'm holding them. You know, I'm buying them to hold, and I sell some, I flip some, and all that good stuff. But I mean, I invest in a project because I believe in the project, and so, you know, people look at staking 2 different ways. Some people look at it as, you know, I'm buying an NFT to stake it. Well, if you're buying an NFT to stake it, you're going to lose. You know, you're going to be disappointed because the stake rewards are not high. Now, if you're buying a project because you like the project, you like the team, and all that good stuff, staking is a sweet byproduct. You're going to look at the rewards, and whether you think they're small or huge, you're getting them and you're happy. I guess that's just me talking, and I know a lot of people feel the same.
I totally agree. If you're looking at it in a super immediate short-term trader sense, like, oh, I'm only getting this amount today by staking the NFT, then you're gonna like sell those stake tokens, the tokens that you accumulate anyways for that minute amount. Staking is about being in a project that you believe in, whether it's a fungible or non-fungible token, right? Believing that the floor price or the price will appreciate over time. and you want to stake on top of that to earn maybe coins that you're also bullish on that over time, right? If you're a collector and you also like the art and you're holding, and you know you're holding the project long term, then that's when staking can work out, because it's like, oh, that however much World of V or whatever coin I was staking back in 2022, you know, a couple years later when World of V has some crazy burn mechanism and the token's actually a lot more scarce, then, oh wow, it's actually worth, it was actually worth this much today because I held it for 2 years. But people have a hard time like looking at it like that, obviously.
We'll be looking forward to staking with the gnomes. I'm sure that there will always be team floor sweeps with the gnomes like you've done several times since.
You'll hear soon, yeah.
It's about, what, 6 months old now?
Yeah, so we minted in on January 24th, 2022. So right about 10 days out from 7 months old, I suppose. Or no, 10 days out from 6. Is that right?
Well, we'll just say it's right around 6 months. How about that?
Simple math, yeah, we can't do that. But part of the, yeah, we'll get into the mint fee allocation for Reapers eventually, and part of that is actually going toward gnome sweeps as well. And yeah, like I said, me and Rob have both personally swept up a lot of gnomes. I don't want to make a claim here without actually verifying it, because I've swept from multiple wallets, not just my Jeff Perry wallet. But I think I've reinvested almost, if not more than half of my take from VeGnomes originally back into sweeping it. So I hope that shows something, right? When the founders are buying back, they're buying back at a 3x. It's probably because they are not willing to let the project die, and they're going to do whatever it takes, right? And that's how I feel. So
yeah,
I'm here for it. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's jump into Reapers. We kind of briefly touched on the art. I see one just over Rob's shoulder there.
That's a dope one. Yeah, Rob, why don't you kind of touch on the art a little bit, your inspiration, what you like about the collection, and then I'll go into the more corporatized details of it.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit in the other interview, but it's like just a character that I think everybody can relate to it. You know, it's like kind of cross-cultural and something I've just done over the years, and just different variations of it and stuff. But it's been so fun to like really explore it. Like I said, I've done a few different variations of it, but like I've been doing it every day. And it's like at first we were just coming up with like, you know, like this one, like with the cloak. But then like the funnest part has been adding all these like weird bodies to it and stuff. And it's just, like when we first were talking about it, we were like, let's just make this one like kind of simple. You know, I was gonna try to keep the colors very simple and stuff, and like it's morphed and come into this whole other thing, and it's just been really fun, man. I've been having a blast with the art, and just learned a lot of new stuff on it, man. A lot of just ways to like tighten everything up, and just different ways for different effects and stuff. So it's been fun. I'm
gonna go out on a limb here, based off of what I see in your background. Simple colors is not your thing.
I have a hard time, man. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's not my thing, dude.
And so I know you've sent out like some hand painted pictures of the gnomes for different I don't know, giveaways and incentives or whatnot. Are you doing those, like, so say I want a gnome painted, or if I get that Reaper that I want and I want that sucker painted?
Oh yeah.
To match my NFT to hang on my wall with my other NFTs.
Yeah, dude, I would love to offer the custom ones, and I'd be down to give away some too. You know what I mean? Maybe have like a couple, like you know, you can win, you know, auction it or whatever. And then also if people wanted to buy one, I would be happy to paint them. But yeah, I think that'd be sick, man. Yeah.
So how much time would you say you have into painting? Like you have the gnome in front of you, or whatever you're painting in front of you. I know you got a buttload of hours into creating the collection, but when you got what you're painting in front of you, how long does it take you to paint one of those?
So like something like that.
Yep.
In that size, that's probably like 6 hours maybe, or something like that. 6 to 8 hours, depends. Yeah, the detail and the size, but I mean some of this stuff, like the more detailed, like the mandalas and stuff, like those can take 30 hours, but the characters I can do pretty fast, man. But some of the some of these details in the collection are pretty detailed, man. So I think some people could really come up with some fun stuff. You know, we're gonna see what pops out, but it's gonna be cool, man. I can't wait for everyone to see all the. You know, we've had a lot of sneak peeks come out, but there's so much here, man.
Oh yeah. So how many of these?
Too, yeah. we
got.
I said, and we're still adding stuff. We got like days till the mint.
Right? There's just too many good ideas.
How many of these will you guys actually see before the collection goes out? Like on a collection of 5,000, like you've got. Like
when you say, what do you mean by that? Like how many will we see?
Like how many variations do you actually look at?
Oh, dude, I run the so I really enjoy it, like I said, but Rob will send me the art. So basically, as he's working on it, he'll send me just emails of like chunks of layers. Hey, dude, I got all this done today. Here's all the art, and it's saved. And then basically, I'll save that zip file, go into the generator folder, and then I have to rename every single one of the layers to like, so it doesn't have special characters in it, and then it has to have like certain characters at the end to define the rarity or how often it occurs. I'll rename all that, and then I'll throw the layers into the generator folders, and then I'll run the new generation that night, right? So pretty much every time he sends me an update, I'm running a new generation and looking at all the new details, looking for any misprints, looking if things just like jive well together or not, and then like following back up with him. So I've probably already looked at, I don't know, because like I'll spend hours looking at him some nights when I'm obsessed. It's super fun, especially some of the cool art. Like when he sent me the dripping cloak, the king body, the Ankh staff, like all that stuff, the pumpkin, it's like so cool. I just love it. So I'm looking at like, I've probably seen over 50K Reapers so far. Like that's because each generation's 5K, and then I'm looking through 5K pretty often, like all 5K, and that takes a while. So I maybe that's an overestimation, but I'd say 25 to 50,000 Reapers so far before it even went live. And Gnomes was probably the same, if not more.
What's funny is like when I make like one layer, then I'll send it just like a picture to Jeff just to say like, yo, check it out. I like put what I think I would want there. I'm like, this color skull with this cloak and this handheld. But it's so funny to me when they generate, because they just come out random, and it's like that's what's so fun. It's like it's not how, it's almost never how I would put it together, which is cool. But it's funny too. Like today when I was making the layers to send you. I was like, man, I was thinking back when we first were like, all right, we're gonna make a collection with the gnomes, and we got on FaceTime because I was like, I can't figure out how to. We were trying to figure out how to export it. I was like, I couldn't figure out how to save it right. And we were on there, and you were like, try this. And I was like sharing my screen. And you were like, what about that option there? And then we were like, oh, okay, here's how you do it. You know, like it's like we've caught so far, dude.
No, that's actually really true. We got to keep looking back on stuff like that, because it's only been 7 months, dude, and like there's been so much has happened, like, so we're killing it, and I love the journey. Like same with the marketplaces, they're growing like crazy, they're doing all kinds of stuff. Like that's another thing, is that I think a lot of founders, they mint these projects, a lot, the good ones that are really trying to kill it, they also they have an awareness that we don't know what's to come, but more is coming and more updates are coming. It's the easiest example is we released Gnomes. We knew staking wasn't available, but we knew it's probably someone's going to build a protocol eventually, or we're going to be able to hire someone. And so it's like so what other protocols, what other cool interactive things, what like, right, veiled vet, stuff like that. It's like a lot of this stuff like you're not even expecting. So how can we kind of think into the future and like be ready when opportunities present themselves, I guess, if that makes sense.
So let's get into the business side of things.
Yeah, the corporatized version. No, I want to talk more about Rob's fucking art and fractal geometry and stuff. No, that's cool. Right. So why don't we touch on the whitelist info for VeReapers? Really simple. Do you hold a VNome? Do you hold a shamanic oracle? Or do you hold a World of V Genesis card? You just need one of any of them, and that wallet's whitelisted. With whitelist and airdrops, we have no problem with people spreading out their NFTs to other wallets to reap the rewards, right? If someone has 66 gnomes in their wallet, the highest airdrop tier is 33. They'll get 8 Reapers for that. But if they send the other 33 to a different wallet, then they'll have 2 wallets and they'll get 16 Reapers. So if they need to spread their gnomes out between wallets, that's cool. Same with whitelist stuff. The pre-sales on July 20th, it's coming up. I don't know when this video is going to be up, if we're already minting or what. 6 days out from pre-sale. And it's 3 p.m. UTC, which I believe is 11 a.m. EST. And so, yeah, it's a little earlier than usual. I think we're doing this because we talked to World of V, and they think it's actually smarter to kind of start during the week. Apparently, a lot of their Western, like EU demographic is actually more available to mint during the week. And the pre-sale lap will be 24 hours. So people will be able to get their pre-sale mints in for if they have 24 hours, anytime, any free time within July 20th. And then the 21st at 3 p.m. is going to be the public sale. Pre-sale mint price is 777 VET. The public sale is going to be 800 VET. There's going to be 5,000 Reapers in the collection. There's going to be 4,000 Reapers that are available to mint. And 1,000 Reapers will be either airdropped or the rest will be held in reserve by the community wallet. This is really up to the community what we can do. We can burn them. We can sweep more and try to burn down to 4,500. We can just save them. We can do giveaways for marketing, future promotions. It's really, they're just going to be locked up, and whatever seems correct to do with them is what we'll do. Pre-sale, we have a huge, you can mint pretty much up to 100. So it's not like a small pre-sale where there's this huge discount and you get to mint just 3 or something like that. It's more of like, hey, if you're whitelisted, you've invested in our other projects or World of V cards, then you can basically get all your minting in during the pre-sale, up to 20 per transaction, I believe it will be. And then the public sale, there will be no minting limit as most are. That's pretty much the minting details. Feel free to jump in if you have any questions or something I didn't touch on.
One
then
question.
Yeah.
So VeGnomes, we know you launched on VC. How'd you switch to World of V, or why?
Yeah, so for sure. I think both marketplaces are great. They're both kind of doing their own thing, and they're also both kind of competing to do part of the same thing at the same time, I think. So VC at the time when we minted gnomes, that was our only option. And that was back when the launchpad take was 30% for all projects. So VC got a lot, right? And it ate up quite a bit of our mint sales. And I mean, they got more than me or Rob did individually for the project. So I think that says something. And then we're still here sweeping back NFTs, right? So we're here to make this shit win. Like, it's that simple. And so aside from paying our coder and community dev, buying the SHA Connect node, doing the floor sweep that was part of the roadmap, and then using the rest of the community wallet to go to NFT NYC, gnomes kind of are out of funds, right? We're kind of limping a little bit because we need a third team member. We need a new hire to really kick things off the next level. We didn't have a lot of leverage coming off of the VC mint. It was that simple. I think we've done amazing for the position that we've been in and in the situation we have. And I'm really proud of like the floor price appreciating and just slowly building the community over time. Our Twitter's growing pretty well lately too. VC was great. We're bullish on the arcade and everything that's Thunderdome and what's to come with that. VC token staking, I think they're going to keep building, and I think World of V is going to keep building. I think they've both done great things in their own light. It was really just that World of V was like very, very generous, very giving, and very they're all about like first principles and whatnot. So I really respect them for that. And I'm not saying, and VC is not, they're totally cool as well. But I think World of V was just their protocols have been great. Their minting has been going great. Their marketplace has updated. Like, people used to complain about it being slow. Now you don't see people complaining about that because they updated, they fixed it. Anything that anyone's complaining about right now, they're probably actively working on all day to fix and upgrade. So I don't have any qualms or any worries about either of the marketplaces. I think they're going to both keep building to become great. But it's just kind of like, hey, World of V, their take is only 10% now, and VC has come down to tie that as well, which is great. I think it's really good that we actually have this competition and not just one marketplace kind of dominating, right, and taking the say. And so me, Tyler, Vet Lever, and the World of V team, we worked really well together for Shamanic Oracles, and they were really kind and generous. So we were just kind of like, why not continue forward with them? And since we committed to doing Reapers with World of V, actually, that was before VC, I think, came back down to 10%. So it's kind of right around that time. Yeah, kind of a long-winded answer, but I just think World of V, great, some sophisticated guys running it over there, and I'm bullish on them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we mint the funds. What do we got? You're talking a lot of different allocations for the funds, and let's hear about it.
Yeah, so I think that's most exciting. Let's actually just go over the airdrops really quick so we can touch on the funds last and like go really deep in there and answer any questions. With airdrops, right, 1,000 to be airdropped. Gnomes have to be delisted by the snapshot date of the 16th, and they have to stay delisted until after mint's completion to get their airdrops. So that's really important for everyone to know. And I think most people do by now, but we're going to keep blasting that out. Make sure your gnomes are delisted. And then if you hold, let's see if I can get this right off the top of my head. If you hold 5 gnomes, you'll get 1 VeReaper airdropped. If the wallet holds 13 gnomes, they'll get 3 reapers. If it holds 17, they'll get 4. If it holds 21, they'll get 5. And if it holds 33, they'll get 8 airdrops. So that's the airdrops. Pretty simple, straightforward. It'll be somewhere between 500 and 800 airdrops, depending on the wallet spread. And then, like I said, the rest will be held in reserve. Now, in terms of the mint fee allocation, there's a lot to go over. I put a lot of time into this. I've actually, over the past few weeks of really detailing this out, I actually have become like just a lot more bullish, like on the future and what's to come. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, we're really not so like choked out like we were kind of with VC. Not saying that they were intentionally choking us. I'm just saying it was our first project. There was a lot of funds to, people to pay. And I just think that we can like really allocate these funds a lot better to continue growing the brand now. I'm just going to go over percentages because we're also minting in World of V coin. This was originally laid out just as imagined if we minted out all 4,000 NFTs for 777 VET in the pre-sale. So that's why some of the percentages are like kind of weird because I did it. That category was actually based off like a solid VET value, like a flat VET value. We're minting in VET and World of V. There shouldn't be a crazy amount of mints in World of V, but there could be some price impact if we have to swap anything extra past 10% back into VET, if that makes sense. Because 10% of the mint sales from World of V, 10% is going towards a staking pool. So we'll just leave it as that. But any more, there could be some slight price impact, if that makes sense. So we'll just go over percentages. And this is, slightly subject to change in terms of the absolute value based on how the mint goes. So number one, biggest piece of this collection, biggest thing I wanted to accomplish and get done, and I'm glad we're already getting it done just a few months later, because after Gnomes, I was like, oh, we have a Sha node. Let's upgrade the Sha node for shamans, but now we need to go after an X node. We got to go after a VeChain node. Obviously, we're betting on Safe Haven. Let's bet on the broader ecosystem at play of VeChain. 21 or 20.91% of the mint sales approximately will go towards vesting a VeChain X node. That's 600,000 VeChain plus whatever the node token will cost on the marketplace. The other day, the cheapest one was like 50K VET, but they fluctuate. Sometimes they're down in the 20s. It really depends. Basically, VeChain X node, it's going to generate passive VTHO a little more than, say, if you just had the VET in your wallet with no node token, obviously. And we're going to vest it. And basically, we're going to wait till the Bitcoin 2024 halving, at least decide what to do with it. This is just a great way of basically forcing the community and everyone to kind of dime in hand and lock up some VET, right? It's easy to play around in the next 2 years and throw away on some rug pulls or some bad projects or whatever. It's like, no, this Reaper collection, we have 600K VET in reserve. The node token's spitting out more VTHO every day. And every time you hear bullish news about VeChain or new huge partnerships, that's going to be bullish for this collection because we have a node, right, working for us. So we're going to leave that till 2024 halving. And I think that's going to play out really well. And it's basically, well, I'll touch on this a little later. Next is 10% of the staking pool will be 10% of the mint sales will go towards a staking pool for the World of V token. That'll be slowly out. That'll probably be through a few pools. And then 10% goes to the World of V, obviously, for being our launch pad. 7.07% is going to go towards a VeGnomes team hire. This is why I'm really excited about the future, because we can finally like really try to push forward. And basically we need a blockchain developer, someone who can write Solidity contracts at some point. Rather, not that we need to write a protocol immediately, but we need someone who can write maybe a Fusion or a burning protocol. And this is what I was talking about before. It's like, we know we need smart contract developers, we might not even necessarily know what we need them for yet, because the space is so new. People are building new applications every day, and there's going to be new ideas of how we can tie utility into the collection by partnering with this new decentralized application or whatever. So we want someone who can obviously write blockchain code. We need someone to also help us just like vamp up and manage our Discord a lot better. I kind of want to trim things down and simplify them and make things very easy to find and just much more navigatable. Have someone that can do community engagement events, whether it's a poker night, it's a giveaway in this channel, just something consistent, right? And then would love to have some website work done as well. Just get a nice, clear, concise website. Here's our collections, here's all the info, here's where to find them, here's where to find our socials, just something really clean like that. And again, this is all stuff that I'm excited to work on, but it doesn't mean we have to go spend 7% of the mint sales on a website immediately. That would be a horrible decision, right? Especially with the market conditions. And that's kind of what I was saying before we got on this call, is like, we need to, I want everyone to know with VeReapers, it's a long-term collection. We're vesting in Xnode until the 2024 halving. So there's going to be some volatility. There's going to be some post-mint traders that are, selling their non-rares, of course, as every collection. And if things are quiet for a month or two, it's not because the roadmap just disappeared. It's that we're being very patient and we're trying to strategize and actually execute accordingly. Because if we're selling VET, let's say it goes down to 1.5 cents or $0.01, I'm not trying to be a bear, not saying it will. I'm just saying it's probably, we can get a lot, we won't be able to get as much done, right? Liquidating those funds at such a low price. And then on the reverse side, when things are going really well, that's probably time to act and actually capitalize and get the most for it, if that makes sense. So team hire is going to be legendary for us. I think it's going to help take us to the next level. Me and Rob aren't blockchain coders, right? We're not Discord mods or anything like that. So it's just another piece to the puzzle, I think, that we can really help spiral us upwards. Next is 6.43% approximately to buy a World of V whale card that will also be vested. This is something that I'm actually really excited about because it just goes hand in hand with the Xnode. It's like, hey, we're betting on VeChain by having an Xnode, having a bunch of VeChain tokens. Why not hedge or kind of diversify our bet a little bit into one of the marketplaces as well? Because the World of V card generates 500 World of V tokens a day. And that might not be some crazy amount at this point and with the tokenomics, right? But what I can say is that by talking with the World of V team, they are actively looking to implement more burning methods for World of V, and they're going to work on the scarcity and the supply. I'm not making a claim for them, but that's the vibe that I was getting based off some of the things that they were saying. So I'm excited to see where World of V can go over the next few years, because again, it's not that many months old. And so what this opens us up for also is like a unlimited staking pool for the next 9 years, which is as long as the whale card will generate World of V tokens for. So we can basically incentivize Reaper holders to lock up their Reapers to get part of that 500 World of V per day. And it's just another incentive to keep the marketplace scarce. And it's also an incentive for people to just actually earn something back. And like you were saying, yeah, it's nothing crazy today, but if you're bullish on World of V, then who knows what it's going to look like, a few years down the line, or maybe sooner. So yeah, that's just a great bet by kind of betting into what it potentially could be a micro cap gem, right, on VeChain, right? That's kind of why Gnomes have a SHA node. We want to diversify across the whole ecosystem, and I think we're doing really well at that so far. So next up is going to be 3.21% towards floor sweeps. This is something we also did for Gnomes. I think it helped us out. 85% of that is going to go towards the Reapers floor sweeps, and actually 15% of that is going to go back towards the VeGnomes floor sweeps. 3.21% is going to go towards clothing, and I forget how to pronounce this. Rob, is it Glicky? How do you pronounce it?
G-Clay.
G-Clay, that's it. G-Clay print drop. So this kind of ties into what we were saying about the paintings and stuff earlier. And also, I don't know if you saw Eisenreich's tweet the other day, but the VeChain toolchain platform just got completely revamped with like a new UI, and it's like so much cleaner. And I logged into it last night. It's so much cleaner, more easy to use. I'm like really excited because one, we're gonna have a little bit of funds set aside to actually do some like Reaper merch or something like that, depending on what the community wants, shirts, hoodies. I would love either of those. And then also I'm talking about potentially some sort of G-Clay, like print, or he can even do paintings like this. And we can order some NFC tags from VeChain and actually stick those on and use the toolchain account to actually tag them to the NFTs and like kind of, you know, be traceable and whatnot. And you see, it's like just like little things like that. That's part of the roadmap. It's like, awesome. This is something to actually get done where we can actually work with the blockchain and like accomplish a task over the next few months and give people something really cool that they can really appreciate. And, you know, oh, I got this fucking Reaper hoodie here, scan this little tag right here, boom, and it pulls up all the VeChain stats and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool. So that's for that clothing and print drop, maybe custom paintings as well. We can do some commissions. 2.5% is going to go towards like future smart contract fees. So again, this is anything that's like, if we want to write a burning or fusion protocol, which has been talked about, just not confirmed yet. And I actually already have talked to a couple of devs and some of them are capable of doing it, which is cool. So 1.62% will go towards a Gleam giveaway campaign. This is kind of just a community engagement event that will go down during the mint. It'll help flood people to our Twitter, our Discord, maybe put out some tweets about the mint, kind of just help the mint go out. And it's a good way to basically just kick back some of the mint sales. Because I think a fun part about some of the mints for me was that knowing like, oh, each mint is a raffle ticket towards this, or, you know, you can get 100K vet, right? I think it was Visitors that did some huge kickbacks, and Safe Haven Shamanic Oracles, we did it as well. It was more Tyler's idea, but I'm kind of going off his idea. I was like, that actually works really well. And it's really good to like honestly, some of the funnest parts of doing this is like doing the giveaways and like picking the winners. And like when I'm picking last night, I picked 3 of like that we were behind on, or not behind, but I just kind of, you know, put out a few giveaway tweets, and then I give them all away, get all the winners, make sure the sheet, like they're all organized on a sheet, get their wallet addresses. I just kind of do it in chunks. And I did 3 last night, and just like seeing their reaction, like, oh, this is so cool, dude. Like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, it's 1,000 vet, and like maybe they got a gnome and a reaper. It's just like, that's really cool. And it's just it's fulfilling. It's enjoyable to give back like that. So I'm excited that's part of the roadmap as well. 1.42%, we're almost done here. It goes towards a marketing pool. This is partially to repay the marketing that we're doing right now for the project. So some of the giveaways, right? The 1,000 vet, the 500, stuff like that. And then whatever's left will just be used for future giveaways moving forward to help market and bring more followers, build the brand. And then 1.42% will also go to the VeGnomes community wallet. This is a way to kind of replenish what we used by going to NFT NYC and give a little extra on top, just so, because, you know, some of the holders were like, oh, I don't think we should sell. The vote was obviously majorly yes, do it, but there was some that were against it. So this is kind of it's like a win-win to like kind of replenish those funds and say, hey, but actually here it's right back. It's all good, you know. So that's the whole mint fee allocation. Let me know if you have any questions about certain specifics, because I know that was quite a lot.
I think that was pretty thorough.
Yeah. Beautiful. What I'll just say one last thing is like, I'm excited because just like if you're minting NFTs, part of what's important, right, is like depending on how you're trading it or if you're collecting or whatever, is looking at the roadmap, looking at the founders, the team, what they're doing, and how much of the mint sales are actually going towards doing something. Because a lot of these projects, if you actually look, they don't really talk about their mint fee allocation. You might hear, oh, there's 10% for a staking pool, and we're doing this with 5%. And then that's all you hear. It's like, well, where's the 75%? Because obviously another 10% is probably going towards this launch pad, but you see like, and that's quite a bit of projects. I'm not hating on any single project. Every project is free to do what they want. But I'm saying, I think it's a good, just like method to show people and to put in more, because I think to build something great, which I'm trying to do here, and build a brand that like lasts long term, like you have to reinvest a massive amount back into it, especially at the beginning. That's the most important time. So when you see projects, it's their first project and they're putting 15% back into the actual project, it's like, well, where can this go? Right? That's how I feel.
I love it. We're about out of time. You know, I can see that Rob's about to fall asleep there.
No offense to anybody, man. I get up. It's like it's 9 o'clock here. I'm usually asleep by 8, man. So I get up early and I go to bed. I follow the sun.
Quality man right there.
So, key takeaways though: buy, hold VeGnomes, buy, hold Reapers.
Yes.
Be part of the community. put in your votes, all that stuff, and don't get overly antsy. I mean, we've seen what you guys have done in the last 6 months. We know this is a long-term project, and I think it's a good one to be bullish on. And I minted VeGnomes. I still have quite a few that I minted. I got a rank 319 with laser eyes.
There you go. There's a laser eye collector out there, actually. He has like a solid percentage of them. Nice.
Well, it's not me. I wish it was. Any final parting words?
I think for me, I'm going to keep it shorter than last time. I just love this stuff. It's so fun. And I'm like really bullish on just the future of crypto, NFTs as a whole, as a technology, and what we're doing. I'm just like so excited, and I'm loving it every day. And it's just great to come on here and talk with other people like you that are just so into it. So we're going to keep going. That's it for me.
Yeah. For me, man, just gratitude, dude, like for everybody who's believing in it and investing in it. And, I just love connecting with people, you know what I mean? Like that's what my art is for me, is like a vehicle to connect with people in person. And this is like another way that, you know, I'm very new to all this, and it's like the community part to me is awesome. And I'm like, anybody who wants to connect with us or has questions for us or anything, like, you know what I mean? Like we said, we're not going anywhere, and it's like, we're here and hit us up, you know what I mean? Send us a message or whatever. Like, I'll give you my fucking phone number if you want, you know what I mean? Like, we're here, and like, I like to talk to people. I like people who are stoked about what we're doing. So yeah, man, connect with us.
Right on. Well, I'm sure we'll do this again here in the coming months, but
yes, please.
Thanks for coming back on. I appreciate it, and be excited for the mint.
Thanks for having us, bro. I'm beyond excited.
All right.
Thank you for doing this, man. Thanks for doing what you're doing, man. It's important.
It is. It's super helpful.
Thank you. Talk to you guys
soon.
All right, man. Later.